It's been a while since I last saw you. Yeah, so it's been a long time since I set up my pink little tripod and talked to y'all about books. I have had a lot going on. I'm clearly in a different location. I hope you enjoy our camp chair dining chairs and our very European washer dryer in the kitchen. This is where I live now. I moved. My bookshelves are not bookshelving yet, but that will be a video where I will put all my books on my bookshelf, and it's wonderful. I have room for all of them, I think, can help. But yeah, I moved. So now I live in a basement apartment with my boyfriend, like a real grown up adult. I apologize if there's any noise. I cannot control the air conditioning. I have been freezing for like the past 2 weeks. It's been really fun and funky and fresh, but today I figured out the value of a dehumidifier. So we will be warm and toasty in no time. I also recently went on like a pretty long work trip because I'm an adult and a professional business woman. So I haven't really been reading a ton. So I thought that I would, for my first video back, do a little tag, and that is going to be the mid-year freakout tag, book tag video thing. I'm a professional. At said conference, business trip, I did lose my voice a little bit. So if I'm kind of going in and out, that is probably why. But yeah, I'm very excited to film this video. So let's just hop right into it. I have a stack of books beside you that I need to grab. So can you like excuse me? Just looks like, thank you. Our first question is, what is the best book you have read so far this year? And if you're watching my old videos that I used to put up back in the olden days of 2 months ago, it's got to be Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I'm going to try and not talk exclusively about this series in this video, but it will be difficult for me because this has just consumed my reading brain for the past, like, I think I read it in February, for, the past several months of my life. It has been my North Star, what fills my heart, and my pride and joy. I just love it. And like, this is like such an old opinion because this book has been out forever, but I really like this book. The next question is the best sequel that you read this year. And guess what? It's Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo in the Six of Crows duology. Same as before, obsessed, love it. This one hurt my heart a lot. I delayed reading this for a while. I took forever to get through it because I didn't want it to end. And when it did end, I was devastated and heartbroken. So yeah, it was really good. You should read it. I'm going to try to not talk about this duology exclusively in this video, but I'm not making any promises. So yes, number 2, best sequel, this really right here. So the next question is a new release that you have not read yet. So I picked up these 2 books at the book fair I went to in Toronto, which I did post a video on. And that is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang and Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. I'm super excited to read both of these. I'm actually planning on reading this in like a week when I go away with my family to the location where the book is set. So I'm very excited about that. Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I am very excited to read this. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but looking forward to whenever I get the chance to crack this baby open. So the next question is your most anticipated releases for the rest of the year. And I generally don't really know what books are coming out until they come out. So I thought I would pivot this question to something that fits more of, things I want to talk about. So I thought I would share some of my most anticipated releases of the first half of the year that I've actually read and what I thought of them. So the first one that I was super excited to read was Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, not in the Grishaverse, so I'm allowed to talk about it. And that was a sequel to Ninth House. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was better than the first book in the series. And I think there's another one coming. If there is, I'm very excited for it. No idea when, but that was probably my most anticipated book of the year. And the second book that I was super excited for this year that I've read is Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn, and that is the sequel to Legendborn. I've already talked about this book, so I won't go into too much detail, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great sequel and definitely worth the read if you're interested in some kind of like more fun fantasy dark academia. And the next question is your biggest disappointment of the year so far. So I haven't read any really bad books other than like for videos, but I will say I was pretty disappointed in The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I read the guest list from her a year ago, let's say, and I enjoyed it. It was like a fine mystery, but I found The Paris Apartment really boring. Like you could tell Mostly she was just trying to build suspense, but I didn't find it very suspenseful. So it was kind of just like a whole lot of nothing. And I didn't really like it. I might give her a try again, but since then I have been reading more Agatha Christie, and I'm like, damn, no one really be doing it like Aggie. She's the best. So it's hard to compete. But yeah, I was disappointed in that one. The next question is my biggest surprise of reading in 2023 so far. And that definitely has to be The Ballad of Songbird and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I was going to say Clark. Suzanne Collins. I hadn't read it yet, obviously, because I'm telling you it was a surprise. But I had reread the Hunger Games series this year for my dystopian video, and I really wasn't sure what to expect, because I feel like such a late in the game addition to a beloved series like is not typically gonna go well. Like I'm thinking like Harry Potter, everything that's come out since the last book and the last actual Harry Potter movie has been garbage, including J.K. Rowling's opinions. So I was kind of like, is it going to be good? And I actually really enjoyed it. So I'm very excited for the movie. I should have known that because they were turning it into a movie, it was probably good. But I was also like, they also probably want money, so they're going to do it. And I will be seeing the movie, so I'm part of the problem. But yeah, Ballad of Songbirds and Snake was very interesting, and I feel like it was different enough than the Hunger Games to increase the enjoyment value, and it's not just like a rehash of an old series. It added a lot of layers to it, and I think there's still even more stories that they could explore in the Hunger Games universe, so maybe we'll get those, and then we'll get more movies, and that would be pretty cool. My new favorite author. Okay, I do have one for this. My new favorite author is my girl, Leigh Bardugo. I haven't actually read this yet because I'm scared that I'm not going to like it, but I'm also scared that the series is going to end. So I love Nikolai, so I'm very excited for this. But Leigh Bardugo has kind of really been hitting this year. As I said, I read Hellbent this year. I read the Shadow and Bone series, which I didn't really love, but I obviously really enjoyed the Six of Crows duology. So the amount of Leigh Bardugo books I read is a little bit astounding. I know I said I would stop talking about Leigh Bardugo and the Grishaverse, but I can't because this next question is a book that made you cry, and it's got to be this one. I cried several times throughout the book. I think I even cried in Six of Crows. But like the whole end of this book is just like, if you love the characters, you are gonna cry. And if you have any ships, you're gonna cry a lot. So yeah, it's really fun, cool, chill. I love it. If you haven't read the series, you really should. That's all I'm saying. The next one is not Grishaverse related, and that is a book that made me happy, and it is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I read this book ahead of going to get the next book. Oh yeah, Meet Me at the Lake. My friend wanted to go to the signing in Toronto, so I read this book before we went, and I really enjoyed it. It was very much like a kick your heels-esque romance, and I really loved that. So it made me very happy, which was nice, and also got me into the summer feeling, even though the weather didn't cooperate until like today. But I am, like I said, excited to read the Meet Me at the Lake, the other book from Carly Fortune. But this book was just really fun, and if you're looking for a summer beach read, this is a great option. The next question is the most beautiful book that you acquired this year, and I have two. So I already showed you this one, Black Swans by Eve Babbitt. I think this is just so stunning. The green and the pink are just so beautiful, and I know it's very simple, but I sometimes I just love like a nice font, just a plain font and a good color story, and this is a very strong cover for that. And then completely on the other end of things, I have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I think this is a beautiful cover. It's like I said, like the complete opposite in terms of, maximalist, minimalist, but I think it's very beautiful. And also the blue, like this kind of, this cerulean blue of this cover is just beautiful as well. When I was reading it, I took the dust cover off, so I mostly saw this. But I love it. And the font is, very video gamey. And then the painting also has a lot of meaning to the story. And then, I don't know, the rainbow's cute. It's very Mario. So I really like it. Our second to last question is, what books do you have to read by the end of the year? And I have two here. So the first one is The Lying Life of Adults by Elena Ferrante. I really, really, really want to read another Elena Ferrante. I love her so much. She's my favorite author. I've been saving this one because she doesn't have that many books. So, and she takes kind of a long time to write. So I don't want to, consume them too fast and then I have not enough to read. So next one on the docket is The Lying Life of Adults. and I was saving it for the summer. So I'm very excited to be able to crack into this. And then I still have like 1 or 2 more books left, so it's not the last one. So Elena, you better get writing. I know this one came out not that long ago, but please release more books. I love you. And this next one I have mentioned, I think, a couple times, and it is Truth of the Divine by Lindsay Ellis. I have had this on my shelf since Christmas 2020. So I really need to read this or donate it or something like that. I'm probably gonna have to go back and read a synopsis of the plot of Axiom's End before I get into this. But I don't know, I'm a mood reader, and sci-fi is not typically a genre that I'm like mood about, you know? It's not often that I'm like, yeah, I really want to read a sci-fi right now. And also, because it's hardcover, it feels super long. It's only like 420 pages, but it just feels very long. The last question is my favorite book to movie adaptation. And I'll be honest, I haven't watched any this year that I remember. My Letterboxd has been very quiet. But I wanted to switch this a bit to fit like actually something I could talk about. So I'm going to talk about my favorite book to TV adaptations, because that's kind of the thing now, is like every show is actually a book. And I have 2 faves. First one is Shadow and Bone. Oh my god, who was shocked? I wouldn't say that it's my typical kind of show that I would be interested in, but Shadow and Bone on Netflix, I think, is, and honestly, it's not the best like adaptation of a book I've ever seen. It's just that I think they got the casting done really well, and like the characters I feel are really strong. The way that they decided to do the story is weird. I understand it, but now I'm getting scared that we're not gonna get like another season, because it kind of feels like we're not gonna get another season. And it was gonna be about all my besties, Nikolai, the Crows. I was so excited they were gonna do the ice court heist, and then they're probably gonna cancel it. So very upset about it. It's more about my love for the book makes me like the show. The show itself is not the best show in the world, but I will rage if we don't get a season 3. And the other TV show that I really liked this year based on the book is Daisy Jones and the Six. It kind of hits all of the things that I enjoy. They've got music, they've got 70s, they've got fashion, and they've got bangs. Everyone's got bangs, and their bangs look great. And that is a selling point for me, because every time I watch a TV show with someone who has bangs, all I think about is, who blow dried their bangs? How often do they trim their bangs? Do they have someone who has dry shampoo on set for their bangs? Other than that, the show is very good. I made my friends watch it because if they ever go on tour, I want to be able to go on tour and watch them sing the songs from the show, because I love the music in the show. Like, I am very much debating on buying it on vinyl, which I feel like is super book nerdy, but it just hits all the things that I already like, so why wouldn't I do that? So that is the end of the tag. I've had an interesting year in reading. I feel like, other than my obsession with Six of Crows, I haven't read anything stellar, and it feels like I haven't read in a while because I've been really busy. So I'm hoping that I can, pick it up in the next half of the year. I have a lot more quiet time now that I only live with one other person, and I can hide in my bedroom and read, which is, what you want out of a relationship's hiding. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will make more, I promise. I have to fill up this empty bookshelf beside me and empty these boxes of books that are still on the ground. So hopefully you will see that video coming soon. And if you enjoyed this, subscribe, like, and comment your mid-year freakout tag answers that I will not put in the description, and you will have to rewatch the video and just comment. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye!